I'm sorry, I needed to laugh. That was a terrible movie I just watched.
So we saw Detroit.
Yeah.
We did see Detroit.
I'm gonna let you guys go first on this one.
Hey, Mike, you should go first.
Actually,
No, I'm not doing a Dear White People again.
yes, we are. Okay. Here's the thing, Mike. Okay, I applaud you going to learn about things that you don't know about. Here's my worry, though.
Okay.
That you don't research this stuff before you go into it. So then you get to this point, and it's like you got to wait for us to go around and do it. So that's why in these discussions, it is important that the person who knows the least go first. So we work it out. We talk about it. That's why I had you do it on the Dear White People thing. I didn't do it to embarrass
be fair,
you.
those are the early, and like I don't take it as embarrassment.
Yeah.
So much as I'm honestly like, because I know you guys are gonna have more to say about than I have to say about this movie,
right?
Because because honestly, I kind of have mixed feelings on this movie. Again, most of my gripes are just technical stuff, more than actual social commentary stuff, which is I know is the crux of the matter. Which is why I think you guys should go first, because I feel like get that stuff, the really important stuff, out of the way first, because I know people are going to be more interested in. Okay. And then we can get to more stuff that more like my own technical thoughts on it, kind of in the end game, because again, that's more just technical stuff.
Okay, well, I didn't know anything about the movie walking in. Actually, I don't really watch movie trailers or bother to remember them. So, yeah, got to see Detroit.
Yeah, this is like your first experience to one of these kind of movies, or at least in recent memory.
I don't know. It just was basically a Saw movie to me. Sorry.
Based on true events.
No, not based on true events. This shit actually happened. Like when you say based on true events, that's like a fine line where they can like editorialize and shit. Mm-hmm. But the instances in which these people and what they've done to them happen are very well documented. Mm-hmm. Especially by the two white cops who actually confessed to the crimes. Mm-hmm. They basically retold that those records are sealed to some people, but not to all. Mm-hmm.
Well, I know, like, the actual confession, like, I actually did do some research on this. I know the actual confessions were inadmissible, that part's in the movie. Right. All that stuff. Like, even it says in the end of the movie that a lot of the records are inconsistent as far as I know. Yeah. Isn't that true? Like, well, I'm not saying, like, it didn't happen. I'm not denying it happened.
No. They're definitely inconsistent because they were intimidated. Yeah. You're talking about, you're talking about 1967 is the year before the Voting Rights Act. I'm pretty sure. So this is more about that than I would. This is racial tension at its peak. Yeah. And the police force, like you saw in the courtroom, that's not a normal thing for every cop in the police force to be there at the jury. Yeah. Right next to the jury in the trial. You know, intimidation tactics, they did do that. Oh yeah. There was a united front in a police office. Like if you attack one person, you're attacking them all. So they coerced misstatements, misinformation. Mm-hmm. You know, it was all not all of the people giving testimony had co-signed on, okay, this is the story I'm telling. Mm-hmm. You know, some people had differing things because of how the police got to them and how those actual cops got to them. Mm-hmm. You know, it was much, I mean, you go into a town, you look up a phone book for the right name, you can call them up, talk all the kinds of shit you want from a payphone. Yeah. Nobody's gonna know who it is. Mm-hmm. You can throw shit at their window at their house. You can have people that you know from that town go over there and fuck with them. Mm-hmm. All of that stuff happened.
Yeah. No, like, let me be clear. Any criticism I have for this movie has nothing to do with the fact of whether or not I believe what happened. Right. But I'm just saying, it's like it's not. This is a historical film meant to put you in the place of these people. It's not like we're gonna make a movie about this subject. It's kind of they want you to be there with them. I mean, that does kind of lead to one of my big gripes in the movie. On that note. And I know I'm going to talk about this later, but I'm going to talk about now since we're on the topic, is the main antagonist of the film, the guy who just looks perpetually angry no matter what he's doing.
The little Jack Nicholson eyebrow.
Like, I call him Discount Marky Mark because it just what he reminds me of.
To me, he looked like Jack Nicholson with the...
Kinda, yeah. Like if Jack Nicholson and Mark Wahlberg had like a mutant baby.
It was basically like, you know... minus the clown paint and the green hair for the Joker to me, like, you know.
I can't see.
I could see it.
I can see it.
I can see it.
Maybe Gotham's the Joker.
No, young Joker from the first Batman movie when he's like a gangster. He's like,
okay, I can see that. Yeah, all right, that I can see. But anyway,
just basically one.
Now I know there were, based on the research I did, admittedly very quickly, I know there are 3 main cops, 2 of which are portrayed as their actual name in the movie. The third one, who's the ringleader of this movie, however, is not the guy's actual name. They changed his name and they added some actions that happen. I don't know if it's related to the officer that here or not. Like shot at the beginning when he shot the guy in the back as he's running away. Oh, that did happen in real life. Yeah. But it was. I don't know if they know if it's the same cop.
Right. They're just saying he was known to have been in that area at that time. They couldn't prove it.
Now that is fact.
Right. Now, but the movie just assumes he fucking did it.
Now, I don't know why they didn't use the guy's actual name, because that bothered me.
The reason why is because that's a production issue. When you bring old stuff back up like this that has real historical record and documentation, some people, you got to give your permission to use that shit.
How they get the rights to the other 2 officers then?
Obviously they either agreed or their estate agreed.
Okay.
So because you literally can't do that without having permission if it's an actual person.
Okay.
So that family probably was like, no, you can't use it, so they changed his name.
Okay.
You know.
Although in this day and age, right? Like if
there's ways around it.
If that family did allow the use of the name of the officer,
I mean, it's public record,
right? But there's also in this day and age, it is entirely possible for that family to suffer consequences. So with that in mind, I kind of understand.
Well, yeah. I mean, if this because what
at the same time, he was a Nazi cop.
Well, you know what I think this movie is good at illustrating is how good intentions go bad. Even after all the shit that I saw from that guy, I still don't feel like he was like a Nazi cop. What I felt like was that when you are a certain type of person, you have, let's say, an atypical personality. Maybe what grounds you in reality is being able to do your job well, being able to have control. When you lose control, I think everybody is at that tipping point. I'm not being his apologist. Yeah. I'm just saying that with that character, he actually has a fair bit of growth. Into where he gets into a situation that's kind of sketchy, and then goes back and gets reprimanded for it, and then it keeps mounting and it keeps mounting and it keeps mounting to the point where he's just like, fuck it, I'm gonna do what I do, and I'm gonna get away with it, and I think that's called systemic racism, right? It happens over time, you know, and I think it was important for audiences to see that. Yeah. Because not everybody just comes out of the womb and is like, fuck black people. Okay. You know what I'm saying? It happens to a point where you look around and there's no turning back. And you are that person. You know?
Well, like here's the reason why kind of for me why it annoyed me in particular is the fact that like I don't know who this person was, again, is public record or has like recorded instances or anything like that, but I couldn't help but notice like the one person who's like it was made up for, the character is based on real people in the movie, is also the one that's written the most heinous. And I'm wondering like how much is the actual person and how much is made up for, like how much was, as they even say in the end credits, dramatized for the movie. Now, do I doubt any of the stuff was said or done? No, I don't. That being said, like I'm wondering, like, was it really all just him? Was it spread out? Because I know the other 2 are real. They're portrayed harshly, but not as bad. So I'm wondering, like, to me, it's like wondering, like, how much is real and how much is drama?
Well, here's the problem,
and that's what I'm curious your opinion on that too.
Here's what happens when you have 3 historical figures and one of them decides not to offer their story. You only get the other 2.
Yeah.
Well, they're going off the story from the other 2. The other 2 confessed. Remember?
Yeah.
So it paints him in a heinous light because that's the testimony we have. We don't have him defending himself. So you can't write that in.
Okay. That actually makes good sense. All right.
Know?
So in that context, that makes sense. Narratively, it still kind of bugs me, but okay, that makes sense from that context. I get that.
I'm putting my production hat on.
And that's why I'm asking you, because you know more about this stuff than I do. So that's why I wanted to wait till you were here to see this movie.
Oh yeah,
if anyone I know is gonna have any clue what to say about this, it's gonna be Ron.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. This film is disturbing, so it's not really a film that you can say, "Oh, the film was great," or "I enjoyed it."
You can't enjoy
if you walk out of this saying "I enjoyed it" or "it was good," I really question you. This is supposed to be disturbing. It's supposed to be a conversational piece. Like, you're supposed to leave with your friends from the theater and talk about it like we're talking about right now. This is not meant to be, oh, this was great, it was wonderful, the performances were great, blah, blah, blah. No. It's not this kind of movie. You know, so
and the reputation, the director and writer have a reputation for making these kind of movies too, like Zero Dark 30 and stuff like that too. So like, and that's not the first controversial movie they've helmed recently in recent memory.
Right, but yeah, like, back to what you were saying about the writing. You know, you can only deal with the documents you get. Right, and so, like I said, we're seeing this character the way the other two guys saw him.
Now, were there any records of a starting pistol at all? Because I know some
of a starting pistol.
I know some conflicting.
Well, you know what? They did mention it at the end in the credits. They were saying they never found his starter pistol.
Yeah, because like there's some. I read up like apparently some questions whether or not there was a gun even at all. Like that is something else.
Well, technically, a starter pistol is not a gun. It's meant to scare people. And it's meant to start races. You know what I'm saying? So you can't really consider it a concealed weapon because it doesn't do any bodily harm.
I'm actually not even sure.
You know, now, a zip gun is different. A starter pistol and a zip gun, two different things.
Yeah.
I'm actually not even sure, like, how a starter pistol works. It just makes a loud sound?
Yeah, it just you shoot like a wooden blank. You put the blank in there, a little bit of gunpowder, ready, set, go, pow.
Oh, that's it? Oh,
that's it.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Well, now
I learned something.
The more you know.
Which makes me wonder where the guy got wooden planks, but whatever.
If he has a
remember, this is late 60s. This is drag racing. This is, you know.
That's true. You know what really bothered me is, like, as everyone was getting pinned up against the wall, not one person got read their Miranda rights. And I just looked it up just now. 1966 is when they put in Miranda rights.
Yeah, and that's actually why the testimonies were... Yeah, and this is exactly why the testimonies were thrown out in the actual court case, because they weren't read their Miranda rights.
So they got off on a technicality. You know, go figure. They do that shit all the time.
Yeah.
They still do that shit.
Yeah.
Okay. Like this.
That's like.
This is not out of the ordinary. This shit is happening somewhere close to you.
No, we see this every time some cop case comes up.
Right now.
Every single time.
I mean, they haven't gotten this bold in a while to where they're going to just hold a hotel of black people hostage and get away with it. That ain't happened in a while.
I don't know. Let's see with the Nazi thing. Let's see what the same with the Nazi goes.
Okay, what do you want to talk about? I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, it's one of those things like, I mean, what a hell of a time for this movie to come out, right?
Right, but you know, shit ain't changed. I mean, okay, so if we're gonna talk the Nazi thing, if we're gonna talk the fight between the left and right,
this video's gonna get flagged anyway.
Sure.
Okay, well, if we're gonna talk the Nazi thing, then here's what I start with. Okay, so look at Detroit, 1967. Black people destroying their own neighborhood. They send in every police officer they have and the National Guard.
Yeah.
Okay? White people protesting the taking down of a statue of General Lee. Other white people, largely the majority, white people, protesting them. Where's police?
It's to my understanding.
Where's police?
It's to my understanding they stood there.
Where's it? No. But I mean in large response. I'm talking about.
You mean the severity of response?
Yeah, I'm talking about police state. In other cities where similar shit like this happens, but they got more black people, you see tanks, you see APCs, you see military grade weapons. Where are the police?
Yeah, so I just gotta point out the irony in the fact that when you said white people, you put your hand up here and it completely covered my face entirely.
White people.
If anyone's, I will speak for all whiteys and say I apologize.
But again, it's not entirely your fault. But there's a large contingency of white people who think this kind of shit is okay. That's what I mean. And you literally let Nazis march through the streets and beat people up.
Yeah.
And you did not arrest them.
Yeah.
Okay? The only dude that got arrested was the dude that actually hit somebody with a fucking car. Yeah. There were people beating people out on the streets. You didn't take them in for questioning at all.
I didn't see the National Guard.
You know, and that's what I mean. No police in riot gear. The only riot gear was the Nazis. Okay?
Yeah.
And no police, no military. Just, okay, whatever.
Yeah, it's like I don't get. What am I gonna add to that? Like I completely agree with you. So,
it's literally indefensible. Just like this film.
No one's gonna like. I'd say no one's gonna defend the Nazis, but we already assume that's not the case either.
Right. But that's what I mean. Just like this film, completely indefensible.
Yeah.
Indefensible. There was nobody who can say, "Oh, these cops did the right thing." Okay, they played a death game with them, scared them beyond belief, making them think they were killing everybody in the next room. 3 people actually ended up dead, but they made them believe that all of them were dead.
Yeah.
Okay? So coercion, racist tactics, actual murder, planting of evidence.
Yeah.
There is one side of people who are just, and there are one side of people who are indefensible. You cannot defend that. And I hope that that's what people get this from this movie. I really do. I hope that you get put in the situation where you actually see people get treated like some black people get treated every day. If you didn't get that shit from Get Out, this really is up in your face.
Were you comparing this to Get Out too? Because I was. Or at least in terms of what comparing. At least in terms of what I got out of it.
I wasn't comparing the two. No, but see, sadly, both of them are the same to me. It gives me the same feeling. It's like when I was 15, my parents told me that this could happen to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever gotten that experience where your parents sit down and tell you how to deal with police.
No, that's why. Like whenever you see shit, I'm like, I'm not gonna
this convo. I got this convo.
I'm 16. I'm thinking about titties and being a rap star. Okay, and my mom, my dad sit down. My parents are divorced at the time. Okay, they both meet me in the living room of the house that they own jointly, and they're like, "Look, you just started driving. There's some things that you should know. Always be in compliance with the police officers. Don't mouth off to them. Don't make any sudden movements. Always keep your hands up. Keep your hands on the steering wheel. If they tell you to do something, don't do it too quickly. Don't do it like this. Don't do it like... It's like literally, it's like ingredients for baking a fucking cake. You know what I mean? If I do any one of these things, I could end up dead. And my parents are both from the South. My parents are both from North Carolina. So they grew up in a time where, they'd be going to high school with somebody and then they wouldn't be there the next weekend. They'd be dead.
Yeah.
And that's the thing people need to understand. When you come across a body on the side of the street that's black and you see 11 bullets inside of the armpits, that means he had his hands up, bro. Okay.
Right, so here's a question for you, because I'm curious where you're paying this. Now, I've heard a lot of kind of back and forth about this movie quite a bit, and a lot of the negative criticisms I heard is that people that call this movie exploitive, probably because some things they may or may not have changed. What's your response?
I don't see it as exploitive. How could you be exploitive? If this is based on real evidence, if the directors and producers can sit down with you and hand you a table full of info and have it be correct, I don't see how it's exploitive. You know what I'm saying? It is a accurate depiction of black people suffering and no recourse for the actions of the people who initiated the suffering. This happens every day. It happens all the time. There's nothing exploitive about it. It's informative. It's not exploitive.
Okay.
That's what I say.
Howard, your thoughts?
About police brutality?
Or just the movie in general, whatever you want to talk about.
I mean, well, as I was saying, like, I actually did get that talk about how to deal with police officers, because I was 18, about to go to college, and my parents were worried that I might go to a party or something like that, and, and it's like, look, if you get caught at a party for underage drinking, you need to act a certain way, and even though you're drunk, you just have to say, I acknowledge, blah, 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 just comply with the officer. Don't do anything stupid. Like, try and sober up at that exact moment. It's a scary conversation. You're not even 20 yet.
Yep.
Another conversation is kind of like that, not necessarily with that fear and dread that you guys have to face every day.
Because it absolutely doesn't exist for you.
No, and that's why, again, I value your guys' input whenever you go see movies like this, because, again, I don't have that perspective. I'm not going to pretend to have that perspective, because how the fuck could I?
Well, let me. You have had that, but in a different way. I'll explain. If you're driving somewhere and you got the wrong directions, let's say your GPS is off, and you turn down a wrong corner and you end up in the middle of the fucking hood with people looking at you crazy through the windows, that's how I feel every day. Okay? That's how I feel every day. You're not sure what's going to happen. You don't know if there's danger or where the danger's coming from. You literally cannot prepare for it. but you're supposed to do the right thing, but you don't know if you can even move to do the right thing before the thing happens.
Okay.
That's what it feels like.
Okay. Wow.
You know, like in Detroit, literally black people getting beaten on the street, and you're trying to walk to work.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And it's like, where are you going? I have to get to work. No, fuck you. You're not going to work. I have to get to work, sir. I'm not even in this. I have to get to work, right?
Yeah.
Now that could have gone two ways. That's a flip of a coin. He could have been like, okay, let him go, like he did in the movie, or he could have just beat his ass with the baton.
Yeah.
Fuck you for making money.
Yeah,
you know?
for no reason. For no reason. Fuck you for being in my way, trying to get to work while I'm beating black people.
Yeah.
Okay, like,
Yeah.
it's a flip of a coin every time you walk out the door. Every time, no matter how old you are. If you're in Alabama and you're a black man and you're 83 years old, they still call you boy.
Okay. Well, yeah.
Okay.
I can see that in Alabama.
That's what I'm saying. But it's not like these. I just really hope that people get that this is not isolated incidents. You know, they happen all the time, everywhere, anywhere.
Now, do you think movies like this and Get Out that we're starting to see more movies like this nowadays?
Yeah, I'm amazed that they're getting made.
I know we had this discussion in the Get Out review.
I was like, in Get Out, I looked straight in this camera and I was like, a movie like this will never get made again. Never. And I'm kind of right, because Get Out was not based on true events, and it went way
Yeah, but it worked because it was like it worked in that regard, because like, and honestly, kind of in part, and like this is kind of the issue you have with true event stories, is the fact that no matter what point you make, all you have is one person to go like, well, that didn't happen, and then all of a sudden, like, because that one thing didn't happen exactly as you said it did,
the whole thing
exactly. You have that issue going. You don't have that problem in a fictional movie. I think about Get Up. I think personally, I got more out of Get Out because the metaphors and stuff work to drive a larger truth home in a way that I can't question.
I get you.
But with a true event story, you can unfortunately do that if you point out any inaccuracy, because this is the age of the goddamn internet. It's like, oh, you forgot to pause for your argument, therefore nothing you said matters.
Well, I encourage you. I encourage you then to go to. I encourage you to go to YouTube and look at the Black Power mixtape and look at the entire '60s from a black point of view, and there is hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of footage of this shit.
And like that, as far as that's so good, like, let me be clear, I'm not coming from a place of saying I doubt any of this, because again, I
don't think you are. I don't think you are.
I'm much more strictly like the common audience who, quite frankly, are still in massive denial over this shit. Because again, we're still fucking seeing that as of just last week.
Like look out your window.
Yeah, fucking really. You know? There's a fucking march like in San Francisco next week.
Oh, I heard they backed down.
Oh, did they back down?
I heard the Nazis back down.
Actually,
in some ways, they backed down for the book burning.
No,
okay, that was it then.
The news is not sure about that. The city is trying.
Well, dude, I'm so over it. Okay, Martin Luther King wants nonviolence. I don't give a fuck. Beat the Nazis' asses, whoop them all. I don't give a fuck. Look at me. Me, Ron Johnson, I'm promoting violence against Nazis. Punch them, kick them. If they happen to die, I'm gonna sip my coffee in the next morning like I don't give a fuck. Okay? Go kill them. I don't care. Go do it.
I kind of go to the Craig Ferguson style of thinking when it comes to Nazis. Or
I'm good.
Like, as a Nazi, I'm very offended to you. It's like, I don't want to offend anyone, but fuck you, you're a Nazi. That's how that kind of sums up my theory.
But
this video is not getting monetized.
But hey, I say at this point, you're a group that functions to install fear, hate, and to literally assault people. So why not get your ass assaulted in return?
Paraphrase, fuck you, you're a Nazi.
Right.
Like, any argument in defense that can be just counter-argument that sentence.
My favorite saying in life, and I'll say it here, is that if you define a situation as real, it becomes real in its consequence. If you think you're some kind of white holy warrior,
you deserve to get
eventually,
if
you deserve to get fought by an army on the other side. Mm-hmm. That's it.
I think it's just easier to just name the neo-Nazis as a terrorist group.
Yeah.
They are.
Yeah,
already.
I mean, but like everywhere.
But hold on, there's people on many sides. I'm sure.
Yeah, many sides.
People.
I am
good, kind people. Good, kind people. Because sticking up for General Lee is fucking awesome.
I speak for all Oompa Loompas when I say.
Okay, that's actually
like fuck out of here. but yeah, I said it. Catch me in the comments. How about that? Fuck Nazis. Hope y'all burn in hell. Hope you die.
If you're a fucking Nazi coming in this video, I'm blocking you, reporting your account. Fuck you.
like I said, catch me in the comments. How about that? All right.
That's probably similarly dated reference nowadays.
I don't give a fuck.
I know you don't. That's okay. That's why I love you, bro.
Look at the fields in which I grow my fucks, and you will see
that I am not a farmer. You live in the city, exactly.
And there's a reason why I ain't gonna farm.
Yeah,
white people.
Okay, I was like, I'm missing it, and I'm missing it. Oh yeah, that's right. Because Whitey's in the room. All right.
Let's see. Objectively speaking about the movie.
Yeah, let's talk.
Okay, yeah. Now we kind of got like the big talk out of the way.
Yeah, let's talk creative. Let's talk technique. I wasn't a fan of the technique of the film. It's jarring. It's irritating to my eye.
Yeah.
It wants to look like a documentary spliced in between footage of actual documentaries, and it doesn't work.
And I think that's kind of what stopped me from really getting more out of this movie than I could have. It's not so much the events are happening on screen so much as I was paying attention to the technical aspects that were bothering me. For one, I don't think this needed to be 2.5 hours long.
That epilogue took forever.
I don't know.
Mostly in the epilogue.
I would say that in a perfect world, if I was the producer, it would take as long as the actual occurrence did. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like how long were they in there being harassed by these men, and how long did it take for them to get out?
No, I'm not saying cut that out. I'm mostly just the epilogue.
Well, no,
stuff.
I mean the epilogue and the intro to the film. We didn't need all that. That's what I mean. I mean, like,
well, the intro
we need to start
sets the tone for the environment.
I don't know if it did, man. Like the documentary footage of the actual riots, that works, but the whole thing where they're outside throwing bottles at people and be like, "Hey, your ass is stupid," blah blah blah.
Yeah,
like
I can see where you're coming from on that.
That's filler to me.
Now,
that's filler to me.
Right.
Yeah,
I can see that.
I like the intro sequence in terms of the fact that, like, okay, I feel like I got a good sense of what the Detroit riot, or at least it was, like, what the scale of that was.
Oh, my knee.
I'm good. A part of me kind of wish I had gotten more of that a little bit to really, like, drive that home.
You know what does put it in perspective is the dramatics. You put it, and unintentionally so, I think. When you put them right inside of a building while the riots are happening outside, you remember the era that this is in.
True.
The Motown sound, it was created in Detroit. Basically, the hub, the epicenter for all popular music that was on the radio 24 hours a day was happening in this place where these riots were fucking happening. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like literally Motown is on one of those streets somewhere. It's called Hitsville, USA. It's Motown. It's in Detroit. So the studio is there, everything. So literally, you're recording these songs while you can look out the window and see this crazy shit happening.
And those scenes worked for me because I felt like it's kind of like what you were saying. It set the tone. It set the stage. No pun intended. For what was going to where this was eventually going to lead.
Right.
So that it was mostly just the epilogue stuff, and the fact that, quite frankly, I didn't really like the lead singer from the band to begin with. So the fact that mostly, and again, like, I didn't feel like they introduced him the best way to me. And the fact that I didn't really know him as a person, so it didn't really mean too much to me whether or not he got to go on stage or not. So we had that when he made that long scene. So it was like to me, it didn't scream as a struggling artist. It struck me so much as a guy trying to spare his ego. That's an important thing. That's an important thing that you saw there, and that is very true. As a musician, here's what I'm going to tell you.
His whole life was changed by those events.
Absolutely.
He became a man during that night. He started out as impetuous youth, thinking you're a youth, you're invincible, nothing can stop you, I'm going to reach my dreams. And reality. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
After that, he didn't even want to join his group anymore.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
Clearly a man after those events. Like,
less than 24 hours changed that man's whole life because of the actions of a few people.
PTSD.
Yeah.
You know?
The problem is, like,
that's why that part was good for me. He had growth.
Yeah, I can see that.
know?
I guess, like, especially
is it really growth, or is it more like a tearing down?
Well, there is growth. There's growth to be had out of tragedy. Whether it's the right kind of growth, who knows what he could have been? Who knows what he could have became had he gone on that night instead of the riot happening? I think that's what they're trying to say.
Yeah.
They're trying to say, look at all these young black men, innocence lost. Never being able to actually go for what they want to do or be who they want to be because all this stuff is in their face all the time.
Okay, but narratively speaking, that character takes a big back seat.
He does.
Like a majority of the second and third act, and then they bring him back in like the final act to wrap up his story. But at that point, it's like, okay, so I feel like they're setting him up to be the main character. Then he's out of the movie for a good long time, and then they bring him back as even like the black cop or the black security guard took more center stage at that point, and then he's gone from the epilogue of the movie, except for like the interrogation scene.
Well, here's reason being. So that security guard, that black security guard,
Melvin,
who basically was like their saving grace. You have to understand that when he went and testified for that court case,
he got death threats. Right?
He got death threats, but not from the people you think. From the black people.
Really?
They wanted him to kill the cops and save the black people. So he's forever a pariah. He couldn't even live in his hometown anymore. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of where his story skirts off there. You know, probably again because permission from the family. It's a painful time for them. You know, he's getting death threats from his own people in his own neighborhood. You know?
I just feel like a majority of the stuff could have been summarized and kind of what they did do in the end anyway.
I agree. If they would have lopped off the beginning, I think we could have started right at the performance, the documentary of the riots, the performance inside of the theater, coming out, the bus, all that, and then start the shit. Yeah. I think if it would have started there, it would have been much more effective.
Yeah, that's a fair argument. So to me, like the finale, the epilogue is more like just extra footage of a character I wasn't that invested in to begin with. So like to me, it's like I kind of like at that point, like as harsh as to say, I was kind of waiting for it to wrap up a bit because I felt like they could have summarized it in like the end, like the credits they usually do, where they give you the synopsis of everything that happened to them after that event. And like I'm not saying I'm strictly from narrative thinking here, not necessarily from what actually happened or how he actually felt. I'm not talking about any of that. I'm talking strictly from the him as a narrative device in this film. And for me, it didn't quite work the way I felt like it should have.
Okay, explain.
Mostly because, again, like the big part of it is because I don't think it's introduced in the most sympathetic light, because I talked about before, and then we don't really get, especially during the event, we don't spend a lot of time with him. So I don't see any of that growth or impact until after it's all over.
Right.
So by that point, I'm just seeing the before and after pictures, but I don't see the journey. So at that point, it's like, I just don't feel... I'm trying to think of the right word.
The journey was the trauma, man.
But the problem is we don't really see.
He's getting his head slammed into the wall.
But again, I'm not discounting the actions. I'm discounting how it's narratively presented. And for when they make a character, they make a big deal out before the event. He takes a surprising back seat for the majority of the second act.
I actually thought the main character between those two was what was the name? Freddie, the one dude.
Yeah, and like I felt he had like.
I felt he had a larger presence.
Yeah, and I agree.
Well, who are we talking about?
His friend.
You're talking about Aubrey.
Aubrey, yeah.
Aubrey, the guy who got killed at the end.
Yeah, that guy. I felt like he had a more complete journey than what was the guys? I'm terrible with names.
You're talking about Larry.
Larry, yeah. Then
Larry Cleveland.
Larry Cleveland.
Which they put him in that movie because he happened to be a part of that incident, but he's a very big fixture in Detroit. You know, he's a community figure.
And again, that's not discounting the events that happened, that's discounting how the movie presents Larry in the movie.
I get you.
So that's strictly from what I'm talking about there. From like that point, I felt like, to me, is like, if you want me to follow this character through this for this long epilogue scene, I needed more beforehand to get invested in what happened.
Well, I think let me venture a guess here. Let me try to see if I can explain that for you. So, what Larry ends up becoming, he starts off as his own character, but what he ends up becoming is basically the eyes of Detroit. He becomes the entire community. You see all of the crime perpetrated by these white officers through the eyes of the black community in Detroit. That's who Larry becomes. He becomes, I'm this young kid, I'm going to be a star. And in that thing, because he's really one of the only ones who comes out of that unscathed, you know?
Yeah.
And that's sort of like, that's a metaphor for Detroit. You know what I'm saying? Scarred. They've seen a lot of shit. Their community is tight-knit, and it's still, literally, Detroit is still destroyed. You know, I was looking on there, there was a housing project that was happening over in Detroit where they were auctioning off property. I could have bought a 2-story house in Detroit made out of brick for $5,000. Okay? Like, that's what I mean. So I think it's not artfully done. It's not very skillfully done. But I think he becomes the eyes of all of the people,
and I can see that. I can see.
You know what I'm saying?
I guess narratively, I wish it was tweaked a little bit. That's all I'm trying to say.
But like, for example, in the epilogue where they literally show him, he gives up a record deal. They offer him a Motown contract even after they're already performing. He leaves. He goes home. His house is torn to shit. His windows are broken. It's cold. He does it. That's a metaphor for the people of Detroit. You know, and even though their place is destroyed, it's still theirs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They've been through too much to give it up. So he's the metaphor for those people.
Okay.
That's what I mean. That's why I think his stuff in the epilogue is necessary, but not for his character.
I see. Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that interpretation.
Because they didn't show a lot of shots of the people of Detroit coping, putting it back together.
See, I guess for me personally, I think... As mostly it's just the thing, just in general movies, I usually find characters are more important to me than what they're trying to represent. So when the characters don't really match, the metaphor doesn't matter as much to me. Regardless how good of a metaphor it is, as you point, it is its own interpretation.
I think you're right. You really got to be looking for it to understand it for what it is.
But it's like you're probably not that invested in that character to begin with. The metaphor is lost.
Right.
So that's more my issue with it.
I agree.
But I could see where you're coming from too. So like, and that is a very good interpretation of the events. Like, okay, I could totally see that. And,
well, yeah, because he's in the courtroom. You know?
And it makes sense.
He sees the aftermath. He lives through the whole thing.
Yeah, and that makes perfect sense. Just as a narrative device, I think it just had issues. That's kind of what it boils down to.
I wanted to point out a
go ahead.
Unrelated side note.
Go for it.
Yeah,
go for it.
So I actually went to college as an audio engineer, and all of those mics that they were using actually like gave me like a little audio boner, because those were like era correct microphones.
Please tell me you did not get a boner during this movie.
No, I mean like never mind.
It's a metaphor.
No, I'm not
going there.
I just thought those mics were cool. That's all.
All right. Fuck Nazis.
Fuck Nazis. I think no one in this car in any way supports anything involving racism, Nazism, or any kind of fascism.
Except for those kind-hearted people that stood on the sidelines and protested peacefully. Love you guys.
What he said.
Love you guys.
What he said. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I just really liked how true they kept to the aesthetic of the era.
Yeah,
you'd have to. I mean, you really have to.
Well, I mean, by now we've sort of figured out how to grab 1960 clothes, but
dude, no. What was cool? You're right. The audio. Every room they walked in was a different piece of Motown music playing. And you could hear it full bodied. And then they walk out the next room, you can hear the next one. That is dope.
Yeah,
that is dope.
So there's good sound design.
Yeah.
It's good sound design.
That actually is a good point to bring up. The sound design is really good.
It is.
And it does, like, especially for a movie like this, where it really is dependent on the sounds. You don't even see much of the city, especially in the second act, but you just hear, like, the gunfire and the lighting and all that stuff to build up this sense of dread and almost warfare in a certain
Not
respect.
almost.
Thank God they didn't.
Not almost. They were shooting after fucking imaginary snipers, and that shit was retarded because that actually happened. They would go on searches for these people are fucking poor. They ain't got no damn rifles. Okay, the fuck you talking about? They're over there stealing cans of food.
First of all,
you think I'm gonna shoot at you?
First of all, like, yes, that point. But second of all, what sort of black man is dumb enough to actually aim a sniper rifle at the police without great consequence to the rest of his community?
Yeah, that was retarded. That was retarded. But
it was basically a witch hunt.
But I want you to know that wasn't sensationalism. Like all that shit with the little girl in the window and all that shit happened. Okay, they're shooting machine guns on top of Jeeps and shit at people in windows because they think they saw a sniper flash or something. That's retarded. That's so fucking paranoid. Go ahead.
First off, can we not use that word? I don't want to.
I apologize. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Bad habit.
That bothers me. But anyway.
Bad habit.
Yeah. Anyway, you had a point?
Oh, no, that was pretty much it. Yeah.
Okay.
It was a witch hunt, and it was like, I mean, historically it was unnecessary, but whatever, we already talked about that. But I mean, I mean, the movie does a really good job of at least making me feel like, like these people were in grave danger. Like, like it does like make me connect to these people emotionally, and I mean,
I did get emotionally invested in a lot of the characters that were in that hotel room, like Anthony Mackie for the brief scenes he had. I felt like I got a lot out of him.
Which one was that?
The army guy,
the war veteran.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah,
Falcon.
Yeah, that's Anthony Mackie from Avengers.
Oh, yeah.
He's Falcon, dude.
Mm-hmm. And also played Tupac in Notorious, by the way, which was not a great performance.
Is that the one we missed?
No, that's All Eyes on Me. I'm talking about Notorious was like years back.
Oh, okay.
But he did play Tupac.
Interesting. I didn't know that. But yeah, no, I mean, I really felt for everyone just being held hostage by definitely angry policemen.
Well, and there's nothing. That's what I mean. Like they went from they went 0 to 100 real fucking quick. They jumped from police officers trying to investigate a disturbance to literally trying to coerce confessions out of these people. To literally the
covering it up.
Yeah, the fucked up part about being racist is that there is nothing that they could have said that would have pleased those men.
Yeah. No.
You know what I'm saying? There was nothing that, like, okay.
They already decided somebody was guilty.
Yeah, and that's what I fucking mean. Like, for instance, the guy, the people, the friends of Carl, the guy who got shot in the back, right? They could have easily just said, look, we were just having a few drinks, we were smoking, we were having a good time. He pulled out a fucking starter pistol, he shot, he was fucking idiot, you killed him, he was the one who did it, he's dead, let's go home. They still would have beat the shit out of him.
Yeah.
You understand? If they would have told the whole fucking truth, they still would have beat the shit out of him.
Yeah. Because that conversation would have been something like, oh, a starter pistol, huh? A real fucking convenient story, huh?
Yeah. Right. Yeah, that's what I mean.
And that whole scene was happening. All I can hear it, like, because it's this fucking moron. Just starts like, hey, look at those army guys over there. I'm going to shoot a starter pistol at him and freak him out. Bang. Look at them all cower. I'm going to do it again. That's like 5 more times. And then I surprised a bunch of police officers show up at their fucking door. And like the entire time I was thinking that scene freaked me. It's like, I really just... I want to ask so many questions, but I can't because they're all rhetorical and with the word idiot.
But here's the thing. Like, yes, an idiot, yes, but deserving of death?
No.
Okay,
that's not all I'm suggesting.
Okay, that's what I mean. You take that same scene, you put it inside a frat house, and that's disorderly conduct.
Yeah.
And one police officer shows up, and you get slapped on the wrist, and you get a fucking citation, and you do community service or something.
Hold up, is there a black guy in the frat house?
What I'm saying is, you take that out of a setting. Again, they're just fucking kids.
Yeah.
Okay, they're doing stupid shit. Yeah. They didn't think it will result in their deaths.
Yeah.
Okay, it is not black people's fault. The way that they are born and grow up, that they look like grown men when they're really fucking kids. Okay, seriously, super athletic, built, look strong. You're still fucking 17, 18, 19, 20.
Yeah.
It don't matter if you look like a grown ass man. You can't judge people like that, and that's a part of the systemic racism.
Yeah,
you know, and it's like, oh well, you go in a room and everybody looks like a grown fucking man. You're like, oh okay, you know. And that's what I mean. You take that setting of somebody shooting a cap gun or some shit outside, you put that in a white setting, and it's like, it's nothing. It's like, you fucking kids. You motherfucking kids. Don't let me catch you do that shit again. And I'm telling your parents, and then you leave.
This is not the right time to be doing that kind of activity, young man. Do you understand that we're currently in the middle of a riot? You know, you really need to understand the consequences of your actions.
Yeah, you get a stern talking to for like 3 minutes, and you fucking leave.
Mate, do you want to spend the night in a cell? Is that what you want? Yeah,
that sounds exactly like the motherfuckers, by the way. I can tell that you've heard that before.
That's a true story. Another time.
I did notice this movie was very careful to also point out there's the good cops too at the very end. Just I don't know if that was there Or the producers made him put him in there.
The producers made him put it in there because you can't deal.
Yeah.
You can't deal. You can't deal that everybody's a villain. That's white. You can't deal.
Yeah.
Unless you're a Nazi.
Which is what. Oh yes, we got plenty of patience for that. Apparently, but I think in return, that's why Get Out is much more effective because literally every white person in that film is a villain.
Yeah.
There was no excuse, and the girlfriend, you even want to believe it for a second, but no.
No, she separates her cereal, man.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a thing.
Just watch it.
It's a great movie. It's on Blu-ray. Cool.
Just watch it.
I'll get it later.
Show it to him.
Yeah, I'll get it. It's
on my list. You told me it was a horror. I didn't want to watch it for that reason.
I mean, it's not really a horror movie.
It's a horror for people who don't experience it every day.
Okay.
It's not scary, but it's horrifying.
It's horror. Yeah, it's horror sci-fi.
Gotcha.
It's more like an episode of The Twilight Zone than it is like a slasher.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, like earlier this week, he asked me to see he gave me a choice between Annabelle and The Nut Job 2, and I chose The Nut Job 2. Okay.
And that wasn't horrifying enough. I would have chose Annabelle. I would have chose Annabelle. That shit doesn't look terrifying at all.
There could have been a whole reaction movie video of just me watching Annabelle, and that would have gotten plenty of views. Okay. We're not doing it.
We missed out.
Don't worry. We'll do the new It movie.
It's either that or it's Killer Clowns from Outer Space, dude.
Please
choose.
Now we're gonna do the new Stephen King's It,
which won't be scary at all. So don't worry.
No, but he'll still want to kill me afterwards.
So many things.
But yeah, dude. Leave. But bottom line,
you like trapped down like Clockwork Orange. No.
But bottom line, this film is supposed to start conversations like this one. Yeah. Like-minded individuals, or maybe not so much like-minded individuals, come to common ground on what they saw, which was atrocities attributed to one group of people and another group of people surviving through said atrocities. And that is indefensible, no matter how you look at it. So for that, I would say, if you are confused on these issues, or you know somebody who's confused on these issues, or you just want to learn more about what's going on, what's incredibly relevant going on outside your window, literally, I say watch the movie anyway. It's not technically pleasing, but then again, it's not meant to be.
Mm-hmm. That's fair.
So,
like, if I'm thinking of other movies of this caliber, granted, like, I'm thinking, like, personally, my problem with true event movies, again, as I mentioned before, like, I think it's very easy to dismiss them based on technicalities.
Well, I think this is a film. I don't think it's a movie.
Fair enough, but my point still stands.
Yeah.
The fact that, like, again, like, you point at any inaction, like, oh, well, the whole thing doesn't matter now, or they just go, well, that didn't happen, or some bullshit like that.
Only thing that didn't happen was those two fucking cops saving that dude. That's the only fucking thing that didn't hapen. Everything else,
this movie is not relevant to current events at all.
Well, like, I mean, like, I remember the first movie I saw. I think I saw this with you. Dear White People was the first one that really blew my hair back. I think
you need to. You know what? We need to do like a sub series and watch the TV series on Netflix.
Yeah, because I haven't seen it. I know you've seen it.
I loved it.
Yeah, but I never got around to watching it, so I'd be down to do that.
And those episodes are really short too, so we could probably get through like half the whole season or maybe the whole thing.
Yeah, maybe. Like I'd be down.
It's not a Luke Cage thing.
Yeah, like I
wore me out
because I know you and I have talked quite at length about this topic over the course of the show, and I'm curious to like create a show dedicated to that topic.
Yeah, let's make Black Films Matter.
My problem, my concern, not that I think it's a bad title. My concern is it kind of immediately dates it.
Maybe
that's more my issue. My
minority memes. I'm kidding.
No.
No. Anywho,
we could say Minority Rules.
Yeah, there we go.
That's kind of a good one.
Yeah, that's good.
We can brainstorm the name later. But yeah, I mean, this is one of those movies I don't really feel like talking about trailers unless you want to.
Well, only trailer we're talking about was well, that's not true. Okay, American Assassin. I have high hopes for that movie.
Well, that's because of Michael Keaton.
But no, I really like the story. Actually, I think it's, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of that film not too long ago. Well, pretty long ago now, with Tommy Lee Jones, who's that wilderness dude, and he's teaching motherfuckers how to hunt. And Benicio del Toro was the killer, and he taught him how to kill. So you gotta go after him.
I'm thinking. That's not it.
Does it make sense? Does anybody remember that movie?
No, I don't.
Remember it? Okay, it's a little bit older, but yeah, it was Tommy Lee Jones, Benicio del Toro. It's a lot like that one.
I think it was before I started reviewing movies, so that's one I would have seen at the time.
But there, it seems like that American Assassin. I really like the premise. It'd be worth watching just from what I saw.
I just thought that was one me and Grant watched the first half, and they're like, okay, let me saw my Keenan was like, all right, we'll watch it.
The Foreigner is another one.
Foreigner looks great.
This one, seriously, it rectifies all the issues I have with Jackie Chan. Because I know for a fact Jackie Chan is a brilliant actor, and he went to one of the best art schools in China, and he's amazing. Not just martial arts, not just gymnastics, not just singing. He can actually sing, and he's an actor. But this is going to show some range. I really, really, really hope it works for him.
Me too.
I really does. I really do. And Justice League, it looked like trash. It looked like trash.
I don't know, Gal Gadot.
I loved Wonder Woman. I thought Wonder Woman was really good.
Wonder Woman was the best one, and
she can carry the movie, guys. I believe.
No. As I was, because they ain't gonna give her enough screen time. So here's the thing. The irony of the situation is that Wonder Woman was the best DC movie ever released.
Yes.
Okay. Maybe.
Dark Knight.
Maybe second to Dark Knight. I was just about to say, you read my mind.
Dark Knight.
But the fucking irony of that is that Wonder Woman barely had a fucking marketing budget. They barely marketed it at all.
Yeah.
They barely promoted it, and it's still like
and not to mention it just crossed like 400 billion.
Yeah.
In the box office.
And there goes some of that sexism. We'll talk about that with some of the other females next time we're on camera. All right.
Yeah.
That'd actually be an interesting panel to have.
Why not? Why not? Let's talk about it.
It's more just trying to get everyone's schedule on track because it's like herding cats.
For sure. But I know Amarissa's back. I know Sarah's around, right?
Yeah, Sarah, and get Karina on it too. I'd be down for that. You make a panel of it.
Yeah, and let them do most of the fucking talking because I really want to hear their perspective.
That'd be an interesting series to work on actually. Just like patterns in movies, kind of like what we're talking about just now. Let's go on racism, one of sexism. I like this idea that they brainstorm later. But anywho,
educate Michael.
We could make that the name of the show.
Educating Michael.
No, you gonna learn today, Michael.
Just turn some weird Bill Nye shit.
I will be the host. You gonna learn today, Michael. Put the dunce cap on you. Sit
wow! Don't encourage the fan fiction writers anymore.
Hey, I'm kind of lighting those stories, fellas. I'm kind of lighting those stories. You need to put me in some more of them stories.
You're in a lot of them, dude. You just haven't gone through the list.
All right.
Because a lot of them have just you and me doing shit.
Right.
Well, apparently I'm in two now.
My favorite.
You're in a few too.
Really?
My favorite is Michael ran out of the theater. Ron finished the movie. It was amazing.
No. It was one like Chris says like, I'm hungry. I'm gonna steal some popcorn. Like, don't do it. You do that. I'm gonna do it. So I do it. And I'm going to run the theater. Apparently, people are chasing me. And then like said, Ron, help me! As I'm running past. It's like. Then Ron turned around and saw the movie. It was great. The end.
Yeah, that's still my favorite.
That's my favorite too.
That's still my favorite.
But yeah, just like I'm not like maybe Josh Whedon will save it, but my hopes aren't high.
I heard that he's shooting pickup scenes for it to save it.
Mostly for Cyborg, I've heard.
He's trying.
Yeah, so like they're. Like, the big rumor for that is that the people at Warner Brothers called it unwatchable, like the first draft. Now, this is a heavy rumor. I would take it with
What the fuck does Warner Brothers know?
Yeah, seriously.
What the fuck do you know?
Wait, but if Warner Brothers said it was unwatchable, maybe it was like the greatest film of all time.
I know.
It's Zack Snyder directed. I want to count on it.
Who the fuck sat in there? Some 70-year-old man with a fucking CPAP machine? It's unwatchable!
I don't get these super people.
Yeah.
How dare they fight for the poor?
I remember Superman. It was the first comic book I bought, but I don't know who the Flash is.
Here's another
It's
thing.
so fast.
Why are we even pretending Superman's not in this fucking movie?
I know.
Like, we all fucking know he's in it. They've made no secret about it. I mean, why are they still pretending?
I don't fucking know.
That being said, one thing, I'm looking forward to Jason Momoa.
Oh, okay.
Because at least of all the one, he looks like he's the one having fun.
Yeah, but they're just trying to make him like Thor. They're just copying the Avengers, man.
At least somebody's having fun in these goddamn Zack Snyder bore fests.
It ain't about.
You admitted that.
It ain't about having fun, man.
I haven't made that as like after I watched the extended version of Batman vs Superman, which was I assured was better. I walked out angrier than I first saw the original movie.
Dothraki motherfucker with a trident. I don't give a fuck about him.
Again, at least he's having fun. Like at that point, that fucking matters in a Zack Snyder movie. Everyone's so serious.
Jason Momoa's Khal Drogo.
Oh,
right?
and
no, Aquaman.
Oh, and
but he's also Khal Drogo. No.
Yeah, he's Khal Drogo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And actually, a sleeper one that I know is going to be good, because of what it looked like was the Death Wish movie.
Oh yeah,
they're rebooting Death Wish.
Yeah, but it's like Bruce Willis in the age of career where you can tell he does not give a shit.
Yeah, except he didn't look like that here.
Really? Because I thought he
looked
did.
like he was enjoying himself.
I thought he looked like kind of had that look on his face.
I don't know. I didn't see it like I normally do. I know what you're talking about too.
Yeah,
I know what you mean. But I saw some genuine colors out this guy this time.
Maybe.
That's all, especially at the last thing where he's with the therapist. That to me,
I'll give it a shot.
Okay, well, that was actually a really good joke, though.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like I actually saw him like emote.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not Die Hard 5, Bruce Willis.
Right. So as you said about fucking Dothraki motherfucker,
all right,
he's having fun.
Fair enough. Okay, that's fair. I do want to say one more thing about Justice League. I think they're really gonna fuck up the Flash. I really think they're gonna fuck it up.
They already fucked it up.
Yeah.
Pluck the dude from the hit TV show and put him in the fucking movie. Why do you have to change it? Why?
I don't know.
He's perfect. Why?
He really is a good parody.
Because he doesn't. The same way they didn't cast Bryan Cranston as Lex Luthor instead of that fucking Mark Zuckerberg motherfucker.
Hey, I agree with you. I even gave Mark Zuckerberg a fucking chance. Okay, but you're right. It should have been that. But come on, this was like home run out of the park. Already got him signed up. He's on the fucking CW. He signed to the Warner Brothers. Put him in the fucking movie. Why'd you have to audition somebody else and pay somebody
Because
else?
Zack Snyder doesn't understand how these characters fucking work.
What the fuck? Anyway.
Plus, like, his suit is just completely wrong.
See, this is why we shouldn't have talked about trailers.
I said we could skip it. I gave you
right.
the option.
You were right. Because fuck Justice League.
You don't get to pin this on the white guy this time.
Well, it is your car. Was your idea.
It
is your show.
Justice League was made by white people.
Yeah. So
starring white people. So.
I don't know. You want me to put you on trial? We're gonna do this. We're gonna call it Santa Clara. The trial of Michael Medina. Right?
It's okay. I've got privilege. I'll be acquitted.
Right? See, that's what I'm saying. We're gonna get the extra camera footage from before this review started, where it's like holding a gun to our heads. You motherfuckers are gonna do what I fucking tell you.
Oh, you won't have to fabricate that. I'm sure you can pull something up from one of the other reviews and use that against me out of context.
See?
Michael cornered me, and he made me choose between the nut job 2 and Annabelle.
He told me that I had to sit still and watch the trailers, and then if I didn't, the last one was gonna be for real. So what
do you want to see Medea? Do you? Watch the fucking trailer.
See?
Don't you dare close your eyes. There's your out of context clip for you.
And he'll do it too. Need I remind you?
No, I know because I didn't even ask you to go see it. I just asked you to sit in the car with me and like watch me cry as I went over the Medea Halloween, and you were like, no. Like it felt like Scar with Mufasa at the Lion King.
Hey, I'm
Ron, brother, help me.
No Medea. No Medea. I'm black and I'm proud. No Medea.
I didn't ask you to watch it.
No black buffoonery.
Because you even said that before I even thought bring it up. You said no.
Like, no Medea. I even went and saw Smurfs with you, motherfucker.
True, and I
went and saw the Smurfs fucking village with you.
This is true.
Okay.
To be fair, I bribed the shit out of you to go see that.
You did, but I still watched it.
True.
I could have just ate the burger and drove home.
Didn't have much of a dick about it.
Well, of course, because I'm not.
Yeah, is that it?
I think that's all we got.
I think that's it.
So,
but thank you for watching the review, guys. Yes, go see the movie. It is painful. More levels than one. You're not going to be dazzled by the film work. But the performances are solid. And it's a story that needs to be told. So, there you go.
Howard, any final thoughts?
Fuck Nazis.
Fuck Nazis.
Fuck Nazis.
Can you imagine, like when we're in our 50s and 60s, that we're probably gonna have to go see a movie about the fucking statue and the fucking protesters? You know what I'm saying?
God.
Ain't this fucked up?
That just made me really sad.
I'm gonna have a fucking Confucius beard down here. I'm gonna
be like Biff from Back to the Future 2, the old version that with the cane and shit. Going and like, hello.
We're gonna be like, you know, about 28 years ago, we sat in the same parking lot talking about this other shit, and now we're back talking about the shit we were talking about back then, and now it's a movie.
I'm gonna be like, I can't believe we have to talk about Nazis again.
There it is. Hopefully we'll be in a flying car.
All right.
That'd be sweet. All right. I know we're all eager to get to bed, so we'll wrap it up here. Yeah. Thank you guys for watching. See you later.